For the past couple of months, Jim Jones has been trying really hard to make it clear that he does not believe that Pusha T is a top 50 rapper of all time. As you may have heard, they've been beefing, and most recently we heard from Jim Jones, but let's start from where we think the beginning is. It seems to have started back in April or so when Billboard put out that top 50 list. Jim Jones had gone on to Rap Caviar's podcast shortly after, saying, essentially, what has he done that puts him in the greatest rapper of all time besides talk about coke that he probably didn't get himself? A very valid point, just making that clear. Like when you are more one-dimensional as far as an artist, people are going to make those sorts of comments. It seems pretty rational. Like, I understand where Jim Jones is coming from. I don't remember if he was on the list, to be honest. I have a feeling that he wasn't, mostly given his comments and his continued comments on this event and this fact or whatever it is. But anyways, that's where we seem to get this whole issue started from. Next, we get Jim Jones on a few radio shows, a few other podcasts. He says the same thing or similar things. Like, I forgot what show it was. It might have been Everyday Struggle or Breakfast Club, but something like, can you even sing along to 5 Pusha T songs? Something along those lines, which, he may have a point. Like, rap nerds, sure, but general public, I don't know about that. But also, how many people are rapping along to Jim Jones songs, I suppose, outside of rap nerds. But, things seem to have been kind of cooled off after that. Jim Jones just going on radio shows. Pusha T's not really paying him any mind, but it seems like Pusha T got a little bothered, just a tiny bit, because during the Louis Vuitton fashion show, which was presented by Pharrell, and Pusha T and Pharrell, good friends, as well as Malice. They both were at the show. They were both on the runway. And while they were doing their thing, there was a song that was played, which was a Clips song. So first of all, new Clips in 2023. That's pretty exciting. Maybe there's an album coming. Who knows? But it goes on and it kind of, throws some shots at Jim Jones, like mentioning how his house was foreclosed and how he keeps Pusha T's name in his mouth. So, that's one thing. A couple days after that, or shortly after that, Jim Jones is like just laughing his ass off. Like, this was not a top 50 verse, not my top 50. And then proceeds to drop his own verse to the same beat. And where he basically just calls out Pusha T and No Malice very directly. He said something along the lines of calling both him and Malice Kanye's slaves, which is an insane thing to say in itself. He also mentioned the Arby's and Pusha T deals that Pusha T has had. He alluded to Malice being sold the same crack that Pusha T was selling. Just wild things. And now it's at the point where it's starting to get a little bit more personal, at least, sounds like it, pushing some buttons. The concern now is, where's Pusha T going to go with this? And what are the chances that this is going to go beyond just rap? I have a feeling it's just going to stay in rap, and that's kind of where I want it to stay. You can throw jabs at each other all day, as long as you both acknowledge that this is, just in rap itself. Because, this whole thing started with Jim Jones also saying that, yeah, he can rap his ass off and he's a solid lyricist. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, he gave Pusha T his flowers. So it's interesting, right? Like, that they're still going at it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to get any more serious. I mean, the last time Pusha T was in a beef, he broke the news that Drake had a son, which was kind of crazy. But I don't know that he's taking this as seriously. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe the only reason that he's really going after Jim Jones, outside of Jim Jones really just keeping his name in his mouth, is because Jimmy is really a fan of Drake. I think he said recently that he's a GOAT. I don't know. Maybe Pusha T is just upset about that. But I kind of want it to just stay in rap. You can get personal, but at the end of the day, like, it is rap. You don't have to be super serious about it. Enjoy each other's rapping. Enjoy the sport. I mean, that's essentially what Jadakiss was saying recently. He's like, yeah, like, I personally would not do this because it would get too serious. And, you know, especially given what Jim Jones and Pusha T have said in their respective tracts, you know, you're pushing some buttons. You can probably, you know, who knows where it may go. But if it stays in the sport of rap, totally. I, for one, I enjoy rap beef. I think it's fun. I think it's good sport. As long as, you know, no one gets hurt from it. That's always a concern. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of these two tracks that had come out and what you think is going to happen next. Is Pusha T going to respond? I have a feeling he will because he's petty enough to do so, but let me know what you guys think. And while you're down there, like and subscribe to see more ramblings and content like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.